What's going on, guys? Jaguar here. Welcome to the video. So I came out to the park today to record a workout video. I wanted to do a little speed and agility and plyometric workout. I do that once or twice a week outdoors. It's just kind of fun, and it helps me stay mobile. It does help keep me a little faster, quicker. Again, not that I really need those things, but hey, it's great to do. I also do some power moves, some plyometric jump training, some ball slams, that kind of thing. But anyway, it's very windy out today. Apparently we have a hurricane out in the Atlantic, which isn't going to affect us too much, but we are getting some pretty heavy winds from it, and going to get some rain tomorrow. So but it was a little too much wind. I thought it'd be a great day out because it feels good, it's nice, the breeze feels great, but I couldn't keep my phone and tripod standing, and also the wind was affecting the audio, so not happening today. But I thought I'd just do a little quick just a little nutrition talk with some things off the top of my head. So just want to throw a few things out there, inform you a little bit on some nutrition stuff. Again, just some quick notes. One, a simple one, an easy one, we all know it, but drink water. Drink lots of water. I'm not going to give you any arbitrary number. Drink 12 glasses a day. Just drink water as your main source of hydration. If you have a container like this, if not, get you a thermos like this. This one was only like $15, I think. And I just fill it up through the day and drink from it. It's a little better for our environment if you're not using plastic bottles, of course. Do what you have to do to drink water, but drink water through the day. Just a couple side notes on that. Alcohol drinking, I'm not endorsing it. We all have a drink here and there. But if you can, when you're out, you're being social, you're out with friends and having a few drinks, try to drink a glass of water for every alcoholic drink you have. Not only will it, it does tend to keep you from drinking as much. You don't usually drink as much if you're trying to get that glass of water in there in between. Also, you'll feel better the next day. Believe me, just, keeping yourself hydrated, that alcohol dehydrates you quite a bit. So trying to keep yourself hydrated while drinking, it will make you feel better. So, and it'll keep, drinking obviously isn't overly healthy, but it'll keep you a little better off if you, drink some water in there too. One other thing on water drinking, if you are at like an extreme endurance athlete, you're putting in lots of mileage, running through the week, biking, etc., and you're sweating a lot. I mean, living in Florida, pretty much year-round, our outdoor activities cause quite a bit of sweat. But again, this is just in the extremes. Realize that you may need to supplement in some electrolytes also. There is a condition called hyponatremia where people, who are just sweating all day long, and they're just drinking water, it can, cause problems in your body. You do need some electrolytes in there if you're, at that level where you're sweating that much, you're losing that many liquids, you're losing those electrolytes in your sweat too. So, mix in a Gatorade here and there with your water. There are some powdered electrolyte mixes that you can literally just mix in the water nowadays, which are good. Some are, calorie free or lower calorie, which may not be a big deal if you're running a lot anyway. The little bit of extra calories probably aren't going to hurt you, but anyway, just keep that in mind. Again, that's a small percentage of the population, but for those people, it's definitely important. My next point is protein. Protein is the king of macronutrients. We do need carbs, we do need fat in our diet under most circumstances, but protein is king. For one thing, we know that protein is important in building muscle. So if we're working out, obviously the protein can't do it by itself, but if we're working out, we probably need more protein in our diets. I typically try myself and usually recommend to people to try and get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. May seem like a lot. It's hard to do at first to get it up to that number, but For me, that's about 175 grams of protein. So that's a lot. That's a lot of protein. But I can do it. And protein is satiating. So maybe not quite as much as like fiber is, but protein does make you feel fuller. So when you can get that protein intake up there, your blood sugar is not going to fluctuate as much as it might if you're eating a high carb diet. Carbs can make, our insulin spike, and our blood sugar goes up and down with every meal. I mean, it's going to do that anyway, but it's going to do it more when you eat a higher carb diet. So protein is good for that. Protein is also, this is kind of a minor thing, but it is kind of cool that the thermic effect of protein is high, and it's higher than the other macronutrients. And what that means is your body uses more calories. Your body burns more calories to process and digest protein than it does to process carbs or fat. So it's kind of a cool thing. It's, it's a simple way to, in a subtle manner, to boost your metabolism a little bit. Again, you do have to watch the total amount you're doing. You may have to cut back on other macronutrients a little bit, your fats and your carbs, if you're trying to get more protein, and again, based on your goals. So yeah, that's a cool thing. That thermic effect is really a neat thing with eating protein. I'm going to use that to segue into the next one, which is calories. Calories do count. Sometimes we forget that when we get into a lot of different, I don't want to say necessarily fad diets, but there's a lot of newer, mainstream diets nowadays. A lot of people are on keto. Carnivore is a diet. Some people do intermittent fasting, which is great. But all those things aside, you still have to watch your calories. If your body requires 2,000 calories a day and you eat 4,000 calories a day, you're going to gain weight. It doesn't matter what you're following, whether you're following keto or you're following carnivore or you're intermittent fasting. If you're eating more calories than your body burns per day, you're going to gain weight. Same thing is true, the inverse. If you're taking in less calories per day than you burn, you're going to lose weight. So, just keep your goals in mind when you're designing, your daily nutrition plan. I don't always recommend people count their calories or track their calories. It depends on your goals. It depends on kind of where you are right now and what you're eating and so on. But it might be, something you need to do or something you want to do. There are good, calorie counting apps. MyFitnessPal is a great one. You can just put your food in there, just put your meals in there, and you can watch, and just keep an eye on how many calories you're taking in per day. And like I said, that's important, especially when you're trying to bump that protein intake up there. You definitely have to watch your overall calories. Let's see, one more thing I'll hit on, which is, I'm not going to get too deep into this one, but dietary fat. Many years ago, like 30 years ago, we had the big low-fat craze. Everybody was trying to eat low-fat. We thought that dietary fat made us fat. Really, it's excess calories that make us gain weight. So dietary fat is necessary. You do have to, again, kind of watch it, because dietary fat has basically twice as many calories per gram as protein and carbs. So if you're, making sure that you get some healthy fats in your diet, you do still have to kind of watch those calories. And just a couple basics: avocados, olive oil, nuts, and fish are all good, healthy sources of fat. Flaxseed oil is also a good, healthy fat. There's lots of thoughts on saturated fats, and saturated fats are okay in moderation in our diets. Trans fats are really the worst, the most unhealthy fats, and those are processed fats. Those are fats that have been converted and made. Basically, it's a liquid fat that's been made solid, and those are bad. Trans fats are bad. Saturated fat, again, you can have it in moderation. And I think, years ago, saturated fat was vilified And a lot of that is just that people who are eating high saturated fat, a lot of times they're eating just a lot of junk food in general. And that's more of a problem. When you're eating McDonald's and you're eating lots of saturated fat, you're eating sugars, you're eating trans fats, you're eating a little bit, and all those things combined are the real, worst like culprit as far as making us unhealthy. So, try and keep them limited, your saturated fats, just be careful with them, but definitely try and get some olive oil in there, eat some nuts. Fish is great if you like fish, if you're a fish eater, and now avocados also, but just be careful and cautious with your total calories there. So that's all I have for this time. Till next time, stay super.